fuel for a nuclear reactor, that's a multi-stage process too. Just like refining ores in a way. It's to get fissile fuel, you need, or fissile fuel, you need to use an isotopic centrifuge on uranium hexafluoride. You get uranium hexafluoride by reacting hydrofuloric acid and uranium oxide. Now, uranium oxide, you process in a chemical oxidizer from yellow cake uranium, which is another oxide of uranium. However, the hydrofluoric acid, you need to use a chemical dissolution chamber. 1 unit of sulfuric acid makes 10 of, well, actually, yeah, I thought you didn't necessarily need a block of it. So, 1/10 of a bucket of sulfuric acid makes 1 bucket of hydrofluoric acid when reacted with fluorite. I have a tank here. It holds 32 buckets. Now, I'm not entirely sure about the burn rate of uranium fuel, but viewer, let me see if it's possible to get more than if I were to use Silk Touch, would it be worth it? It just might be. So yeah. I forgot to turn this thing on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That ought to be enough. I gotta refill that thing. And then this will make 60. I'll have lots of spares. But yeah, you're guaranteed 6 when you use Silk Touch, as opposed to, well, the amount varies otherwise. Now, how much sulfuric acid do I have? Let's check the chemical dissolution chamber. I have not enough to make 32. This is going okay. So I suppose what I'm going to have to do is get some sulfur. And this is empty. Maybe I could have used it. Oh well. Alright, let me see if I've got some sulfur lying around. If I don't, I'll just use... Yeah, I thought I had some. How many... Let's see. I'm going to run 1 unit of sulfur dust through the process and see how it comes out. So 1 unit of sulfur dust makes 100. So to make up the shortfall, I'm going to need I'm going to need a bit more sulfur. Now with sulfur, yeah, I'm going through here again. It doesn't look as though there's a way to get more than 1 unit of sulfur out of a unit of sulfur that you dig up. Oh wait. Maybe there is, and I'm missing it. That's not such a bad idea. The induction smelter from thermal series. I could use that. Because I don't know how abundant sulfur is, but it strikes me as being really being kind of rare. Maybe I knew I was gonna end up making one of these anyway. Anyway, I'm not so sure I need this blast furnace anymore. So I'll take it out. And then, let's see, what do we got? Invar. Now that's an alloy. 2 iron, 1 nickel. And well, I guess the best way to make it now would be to make Invar blend. Let's see, I got raw nickel. Well, does raw nickel doesn't seem to work in an enrichment chamber. Probably because it isn't a mechanism ore, so I'll have to use the pulverizer. And as for the iron, I think I threw all the iron that I had into my processor. So let's see, how much Invar do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This just takes 10. Iron's practically a staple around here. Use it for everything. So, it's 2 iron per Invar. That's, sorry, 2 iron per unit nickel. I'm going to store the rest of this. While I'm down here, how much tin do I have? I seem to have a lot of this stuff, come to think of it. Okay, that's it for the nickel dust, and yeah, there is a chance of like an extra output. It's also possible to get, if you use the pulverizer in raw iron instead of the enrichment chamber, you can get nickel ore out of it. I suppose that's the difference between Mekanism and thermal series. Thermal series is about the extra metals you can get when processing. Mekanism is about the amount of extra metal you can get. See, there's some already. Yeah, I knew I was finished smelting the iron. Okay, so I'll combine this with this to get that. Hopefully this works in the energized. Yeah, it does. Let's go downstairs, grab some iron nuggets. And put away the rest of the tin that I don't really need as well. Take some of the glass. There's my iron nuggets. And I think I've got everything. Actually, no, I need sand. They are the funniest things in these. Well, here's some sand. That's exotic sand, too. There we go. So I'm going to put the extra invar away and use the rest to make invar gears. Oh yeah, I need an ingot of gold for the circuitry. And some redstone for the same purpose. There's this quill thing. Thermal series isn't exactly as emphatic about circuitry as Mekanism is. Put the rest of the nickel dust away too. Machine frame. And there. One induction smelter. I'll put that here. Come to think of it, I'll need more sand for it. Because the sulfur crystals, using them in the induction smelter, you need sand. Or rich slag. But you get rich slag from using the induction smelter. Alright, now I think I'm spelling this correctly. Yeah, I am. Okay. Turn on Silk Touch and start. Yeah, there's not a lot of it here. We take it up to the induction smelter. Put this in. And there you have it. In fact, that's more than I thought I'd get. Maybe it smelts it in multiples of 3. I don't know. But This is certainly going to get us more sulfur than just digging it up. It's the only way to get more than one, and I end up getting 6. Who'd have thunk it? Let me just wait until this stops. There we go. Put that in, and might as well make some more sulfuric acid, just in case. So in my chemical dissolution chamber, wait, how am I supposed to? Okay, this makes all kinds of slurries, but there's nothing in here about... Oh, wait, yeah. Hydrofuloric acid must be gaseous as well. Funny, you don't really think of this of these acids as gases. It's much easier to think of them as liquids, because you're used to seeing them as liquids. So let me just stow this somewhere. I'm sure I can find a use for it eventually. And then make a gas tank. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. That old 64. Wasn't expecting that, but alright. I can probably... I'll eventually have, like, enough sulfuric acid to... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I got a pretty good amount of sulfur out of that. But I might as well show you the process anyway. So I'm going to turn eject off just briefly. And put the react the sulfuric acid with fluorite to make hydrofluoric acid. Wait a minute, am I using an advanced chemical tank? I didn't mean to do that. Alright, but don't worry, there's a way of transferring the contents of one tank to another, which I've been using to, well, get these free advanced chemical tanks from the rewards that I get off quests. So we'll come back to the next stage of this when I've finished making hydrofluoric acid. So the next stage involves the actual uranium itself. Now, you need uranium ingots, and each uranium ingot produces 2 yellow cake uranium. Sounds like we're not exactly short on them, are we? Well, it's because there's a couple of different mods which use uranium. And one of them, surprisingly enough, is immersive engineering, which is fascinating when you consider the fact that immersive engineering doesn't really Well, I didn't think it went any further than diesel punk. I've got more than enough energy in this induction matrix to fill this cube, though. I'll just see to that. And then I've got... Well, I'm going to go whole pig on this uranium. I've got some downstairs. But I imagine I'm going to need a ton of it. And it looks like we're just about finished processing the sulfur into sulfuric acid, which is important once again, seeing as how I needed to use in the chemical dissolution chamber. It takes it takes a tenth of a bucket. So to process 49 of these, it should take 4.9 buckets, and I've got, well, 3.2 and counting in here. So using the induction smelter was a stroke of a genius when you think about it. I think of it, I've already got some here, so I'm going to start on that too. And in case you're curious, I have finished making a full tank of hydrogen chloride gas for the chemical injection chamber. There's some oxygen in here too. There's not as much of it. But I've got some I'm coming here from here, so it shouldn't be too hard. Besides, it's not like I'm gonna run. I doubt I'm really gonna run out of either. Even if it takes an entire bucket worth of hydrochloric acid, I've got 250, well, almost 250. So I'll run low on this stuff, but not out of it. Although I am a bit concerned about using up oxygen. But let me see, that's 740 something. It looks like all around it's like a tenth of a bucket or 2/10, something like that. I think the main bottleneck here is going to be time. Let me go grab the rest of the uranium. Where did I put it? Ah, here it is. The problem is we're going to need another enrichment chamber. Fortunately, these enrichment... Well, we got to make ingots out of this first. There's something I've been meaning to try, come to think of it. The energized smelter is... Well, I was thinking of... I'm using it a lot more than I thought I would be, so... It doesn't look like you can skip a stage in this. So I'm gonna bump it up a couple of notches. Only got one of these? Oh well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a quick bit of upgrading on the fly, you might say. Fortunately, the enrichment chamber runs fast enough so that sneaking something in isn't exactly an issue. So that's... Oh. basic tier installer. Better turn this on just to make full use of this potential. And the advanced tier installer, that takes like 8, but that's simple. Just like that. Come on. And there you have it, an advanced tier installer. And the elite tier installer. So I've got ingots of uranium. I'm going to make this a nice even number. 32. And enrich this into uranium oxide, commonly known as yellow cake. Come to think of it, some cakes really are yellow. You think that people in nuclear physicists do this? They celebrate somebody's birthday with a yellow cake? It even says it here. Look, don't eat. Okay, and then we plunk that in the chemical oxidizer to make uranium oxide, which I take it is a gas because you can decondensate it into liquid uranium oxide. So I am once again going to stop ejecting gases, and by the same token I'm going to stop making obvious jokes about doing that too. Hang on a minute. So 64 divided by 4 is 16,000. There we go. That is how much 16 buckets, I should say. And then, but I'm going to need as much uranium oxide as I have hydrofuloric acid in order to make an efficient use of it. Meaning that I'm gonna need 3 more stacks of uranium. Serious stuff, I know, but yeah, there's a reason I dug up all that, as much uranium as I could. Now 49 times 5, well 50 times 5 is 250, 245 out of a possible 256. I'll see if that immersive engineering uranium can make up the difference. Perhaps what I ought to do is make another gas tank. Another basic gas tank, I mean. I'll use an advanced gas tank to hold the uranium hexafluoride. Oh, but that's not the end of the process, is it? No, the uranium hexafluoride has to be run through an isotopic centrifuge to make fissile fuel. Fortunately, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, and I do have another advanced tank lying around, so it shouldn't be too much trouble.